Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started.
Two.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. All right, now that June's here, we can get started.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thanks for coming out this morning. I know yesterday was a holiday, election day. There was a lot of big races and everything, so thanks for coming out. I'm Kevin Williams. I'm the inspector of the 2nd Precinct, the commanding officer. I have my executive officer here and my captain here. And I'd like to thank we have some elected official representatives, Steve Stern's office, right? And I don't know if we have any others.
Tom Donnelly.
Tom Donnelly, I'm sorry. Tom Donnelly. Congratulations to Tom. I saw him on TV last night. So yeah, there wasn't too many surprises, but anyway, congratulations to all those people who won their elections. And as we always do in the meetings, I'd like to get started. I'll bring some of the officers up. They can introduce themselves so you can kind of get familiar with them. So if you guys can come up, and ladies.
Hi everybody, I'm Officer Perez, 2nd Precinct CSU Enforcement.
I'm Officer Stefan with the Suffolk County 2nd Precinct in the Community Support Unit.
Officer Jamie Westenhoff and 2nd Precinct Code.
Officer Alyssa Dowdy, 2nd Precinct Code. Officer Kat McCool, 2nd Precinct COR.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Before we get started, I'll just, I don't know if anybody heard about the news. We had a shooting last night in the precinct on New York Avenue over by Academy Place. I think it was a 28-year-old male was shot in the parking lot of the convenience store over there, the 6 to 12 store. He was taken to Huntington Hospital. He was shot in the hip and it exited out his thigh. He's obviously going to survive. But the investigation is really preliminary right now, so I can't talk too much about it other than that happened. So it seems like there may have been, these people may have known each other from prior relationships, so not too much to really worry about. I don't like to have these things in the precinct, but every once in a while something like this happens. So rest at ease, the detectives in the 2nd Precinct will be investigating this, and it'll be a high priority. We'd like to get this one solved. So just so you know, I wanted to get that out there, and it's really too soon to give much more information, but the gentleman is going to be okay.
And that spot is really a lot of issues in that shopping plaza there.
You're right, sir, and we do patrol over there on a regular basis because we're well aware of any of the issues in that part of the station.
Was ShotSpotter activated?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you reminded me of that because the lieutenant who responded to the scene said that the ShotSpotter, now I've talked about ShotSpotter and I'll explain later what ShotSpotter is, but basically, quick, it's acoustic receptors that are spread out through the town of Huntington, or mostly Huntington Station, and it picks up what can be gunshots. And it worked really good last night. It picked up the shot, and it pinpointed the location to almost exactly where the shooting occurred, and and evidence was recovered and whatnot. But that's nice that's a system that works for us and helps us do our job better. So that was a good question, and yes, it was good.
Where is Academy Place roughly?
So it's just west of, I think, Lowndes, or no, I'm sorry, is it maybe
North.
north of Lowndes. So just before the Big H on on the, what is that, the south side.
Okay.
It comes out onto New York Avenue at one time. Yeah,
Directly across from the funeral home.
yeah. There's a little strip mall there. Yeah, there's a convenience store, I think Chinese place, so you know where it is? Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the numbers. Index crimes year to date. Okay, robberies are down significantly, that's good. We had 16 last year, only 9 this year. Assaults are up. We had 64 last year, we had 88 this year. So that's a concern for me. Residential burglaries down dramatically. We had 25 last year, we only had 9 this year. Commercial burglaries are down also, I'm sorry, up. 31 this year, and we only had 23 last year. Larcenies are down. We had 1,279 last year, only 1,116 this year, slightly down. And then vehicle thefts, just down just slightly. So 34 last year and 30 this year. The assaults is a concern, but it seems like every week there's another assault that is getting reported to me. Some of these are street assaults, some of these are domestic assaults, so it runs, you know, it runs like the gamut of how these assaults occur. They're kind of hard to prevent. I mean, patrol will prevent some of the ones that happen on the street, but things that happen in residence and stuff like that, those are kind of hard to avoid. These are the monthly index crimes. So we're comparing September to October. Robberies, we were even at 2. Assaults, well, we were actually down in October. 12 in September, 7 in October, so down a little bit. Residential burglaries, we didn't have any in September, and we had 1 in October. That should not be, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It should be up 1. Commercial burglaries, we were even. Larcenies, we were down just a little bit, 117 and 116. And then vehicle thefts, we had 2 in September and 1 in October. Some of these vehicle thefts, please, you know, again, I always mention just try to take your keys out of the vehicle. A lot of people tend to leave them in there, and it just makes it that much easier for people to steal it. This is an assault that occurred on the 13th, early in the morning. You can see the time. La Hacienda Bar, New York Avenue, Huntington Station. The victim was inside the bar. When he looked outside, he saw his 3 friends that were involved in a physical altercation with 3 unknown individuals. The victim went outside to break up the fight, and then he became a victim. So he went outside and he was stabbed in the back by one of the suspects that were involved in the fight. The suspects fled the scene in a dark green SUV. The victim was treated at Huntington Hospital for his injuries, and the detectives are investigating this. So he went outside to try and break up this fight and wound up getting stabbed. We've hit this bar numerous times on State Liquor Authority investigations, and we'll probably be doing that again. Criminal possession of a weapon, 3rd. This was this is a news story. You might have saw this in the news on the 3rd of October, about 11:15 p.m. El Cuscateco Bar, Broadway, Huntington Station. This has been another place where we've had issues. I think someone brought it up at the last community meeting. Our anti-crime officers were on patrol, and they saw a security guard outside that kind of looked strange. He actually looked like a police officer. He had a uniform with patches that looked like New York City patches, and a gun belt on. It appeared he had a gun on there, so they're like, this is a little suspicious. Let's go take a look at this guy. And so they investigated this gentleman. He was working as a security guard for the bar, and he was wearing what appeared to be a police uniform. He had a gun belt on, and it looked like he did have a gun. They approached him. It turns out he was in possession of several unauthorized weapons. He was taken into custody and charged with unlawfully possessing 2 electronic stun guns, and also charged with acting as a security guard without a license. So the gun was a pellet gun, but it looked like, you know, if you saw the picture, it looked like a real gun. And he had a baton that was like a stun gun. So those are illegal to possess. Yes, ma'am.
So was this business fined or?
Well,
something?
he was arrested because you have to have a license for that. And we're going to talk about this business a little bit more.
Okay.
Were you the one who brought up this place last month? Oh, okay. So
Not me.
someone, so we're going to get into that in a second. An attempted robbery on Thursday, about 2 p.m., 1668 New York Avenue, Huntington Station. Complaint reports 2 males accosted him behind the laundry palace. They demanded money. He said he had no money, and they took his bicycle. They went up taking his bicycle, threw it in the back of a pickup truck, and they fled the scene. Detectives investigating and patrol officers, they were able to identify one of the suspects, and he was arrested on 10/13 and charged with attempted robbery. So they kind of rolled the guy, and they wanted money. He didn't have any, and they knew that the bicycle was his, so instead of whatever he had on him, they took his bicycle and took off. I'm sorry? I believe they did, yeah. Okay, robbery. Robbery. This is this is a little concerning. This one here on 10/20, about 8:46 p.m., 608 East Jericho Turnpike, South Huntington. This was a spa. The complainant reports 2 Asian males entered the location armed with handguns, and they ordered the 2 female employees into a back room. While they searched the location, they were looking for cash because they know that these spas pretty much operate on cash money. So they went in there and they're looking for the cash. They finally did discover it because they ransacked the place, and they fled with one of the victims' wallet, a cell phone, and about $2,500 in cash. So we hit these spas on a regular basis, as you'll see later in the PowerPoint. But this is the risk of them operating like this. People know there's cash money in there. Burglary second, Norman Court, Dix Hills, Thursday the 30th, early in the morning. Complainant reported that several unknown suspects entered his dwelling through an unlocked garage window, went into the residence, stole his wife's purse that included the keys to his 2025 Range Rover. They fled in the Range Rover. Second squad detectives responded. They were actively investigating this. We've had one of these last year in these affluent neighborhoods where people have these really nice cars. These crews come out from, it's either somewhere in the city, sometimes New Jersey. They canvass these neighborhoods looking for these vehicles parked in the driveway, and if they see something that they think they can get their hands on, they'll try and get into the house and find the keys. And most people leave the keys on the kitchen table or whatever, so they were able to get into this house through this unlocked window. Again, lock everything, because maybe if they open a window and your alarm's on, it spooks them. I don't know, but occasionally these car theft rings come out here and they steal these high-end cars. So this is pretty much what happened here. So there's an active investigation on this one. We'd certainly like to catch this crew. Burglary third at the smoke shop. This is on Fort Salonga Road in Fort Salonga. On Sunday, it was discovered about 4:18 a.m. Unknown suspect kicked in the front window and stole cigarettes and vape products valued at about $1,250. Occasionally we get these smash and grabs. We've been pretty fortunate. We haven't had many lately, but it happens everywhere, as you can see. This one in Fort Salonga, so.
Is it the Bird Cheese Hollow?
Not that far.
Was it more like CVS?
It's by, I think it's Norwood Drive down there.
Oh, never mind.
In
I was
that shopping
thinking
center
about
over
the,
there. Yeah, there's a couple of shopping centers over there. I believe that's where that one was. Burglary third, this is a UPS store on Old Country Road. This is under construction, this store. And this was on the 22nd, again, early in the morning. It was discovered. The complainant reports unknown male suspect entered the store. It's under construction. He stole 2 Hewlett-Packard computers valued at about $3,000. So I don't know how secure this location was, but the guy obviously knew they had some equipment in there, and he took advantage and he went in there. Domestic strangulation, Sunday the 12th, about 5 in the morning on Daly Road. The complainant reports her ex-boyfriend came to a house to retrieve his wallet that he had left there. After the complainant gave him the wallet, he placed both hands around her neck and began to choke her until she could not breathe and passed out. Our second precinct investigating unit officers were able to conduct an investigation that resulted in them locating the suspect, and he was arrested and charged with strangulation. So there's a couple of charges that go with this. Strangulation is the higher charge, and they usually get a nurse to do a whole workup on the victim, but it's a pretty serious charge now. The lesser charge is criminal obstruction of breathing, but it's when you pass out and visible marks are left, we can up it to strangulation. So in this case, you know, some of these domestic incidents can get pretty heavy, and this one, you know, came close to probably almost killing her, I think. But she was lucky that she was able to fight him off enough, and we were able to get the guy and arrest him. This is a weapons arrest. This is, again, during another domestic incident. I talk about the domestic incidents, very dangerous for our officers to respond to. And in this one, weapons were recovered. So Cold Spring Harbor, Main Street, about 7 p.m. During a domestic incident. The complainant reported her husband had several firearms that she wanted removed from the home. And detectives went there and they discovered several high-capacity magazines, which are illegal in New York, and parts for an illegal 9mm handgun. The guy had different parts, hadn't put it together yet, but he didn't have a permit for that. So he was charged with criminal possession of a weapon, 3rd degree. So we never know what we're walking into. I give the officers a lot of credit. Very dangerous calls to handle. You like this one, dirt bike impounded. So this is a dirt bike / electric bicycle. Everybody's been complaining about the electric bikes. We understand it. The law is not really on our side, just so you know. I've heard that the legislator is working on something to give us a little more power to maybe take these bicycles away from kids that are underage driving them. There's, you know, the law doesn't really allow us to summons juveniles, you know, anybody under 16, they're not supposed to be riding these electric bikes. So we're kind of, our hands are a little tied on what we can do. We would like to be able to take them away and impound them, but the law isn't really there yet. I think they're working on something because it's more and more frequent that you see these young kids riding around in the middle of traffic. It's gotten crazy. Anyway, one of our officers, she's standing right there. Good job, Haley.
Thank you.
It's funny because when I wrote this, I didn't know she was going to be here. I wanted to give her credit, but I'm really glad she was here because, can you hold the question just until I finish? And so anyway, Officer Perez, I should just let you tell the story, but anyway, she saw this guy driving on down Park Avenue in Greenlawn, and she was able to safely stop him. That's another thing that is tough for us because we don't want to chase them, because if we chase them and something bad happens, then we're kind of liable. So, you know, it's very it's a touchy situation for us on how to handle it. Luckily, she did a good job. She was able to get this, and then she wound up impounding the bike, and the juvenile was released to his parents, who came down to the scene. Is that correct? Very good, nice job. And that's an electric bike, really.
Wow.
But it's, you know, you see them, they look like dirt bikes, and so that one we were able to impound because that falls under the dirt bike classification, not electric bike. Again, talked about massage parlors, spas, whatever you want to call them. We hit 2 of them, our PCS officers. They do a terrific job every month. This one on October 15th, they responded, you know, obviously with the town of Huntington, code enforcement, the fire marshals, they're always involved in these investigations with us. We appreciate their help. This was at Awesome Spa on 295 East Jericho Turnpike and Huntington Station. They arrested 2 employees. They were both charged with unauthorized practice of a profession and prostitution. So that's the one on the 15th. And then on the 22nd, we hit another spa. And again, everybody was involved, crime section, the Huntington Fire Marshal, and code enforcement. And this was into the Sugar Pine Spa, located at 953-8 New York Avenue, Huntington Station. Again, 2 people were arrested, charged with the same charges, unlawful practice of a profession and prostitution. We hit these on a regular basis. We get a lot of community complaints. We appreciate the people calling in to give us these locations. If you see them, by all means, please give us a tip, and we'll hit these places. Search warrant. This was a search warrant. You may have seen this. This was in the paper also. This was at Organically Connected, located at 415 New York Avenue in Huntington. There was a lot of people involved in this one. Our narcotics section, PCS officers, our field intelligence officer detective, asset forfeiture, digital forensic detectives, Suffolk County DA's office, New York State Department of Financial Services. So Organically Connected, there was like a chain of these stores. I think there was 4 of them altogether, and they hit them all on this day. And basically this guy was openly selling marijuana products, and he's not a licensed establishment. So they hit this guy. I guess he was making a lot of money. And anyway, the detectives recovered a large quantity of marijuana, THC vape cartridges, THC gummies. 2 employees were placed under arrest in connection with the illegal operation, and the charges included on the bottom, criminal possession of cannabis, 2nd degree, which is a felony, obstructing governmental administration, so I guess they didn't go quietly when they were being arrested, resisting arrest, obviously, false personation, which is lying about your name and your pedigree information, and unlicensed security guard. There must have been a security guard who, I guess, guarded this operation. They deal with large amounts of cash, so probably have to have somebody on this at the premise. And they were issued field appearance tickets. Yes.
Quick question. I know this one in Huntington Village had a sign, members only.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like a membership thing. And I'm wondering if that's how they were trying to skirt the
Enforcement,
cannabis
yeah, people getting in
sales,
there.
because they're paid members and maybe with their membership they get such and such
Yeah.
included.
I
don't know.
I don't know the whole details of that investigation. I
Yeah.
mean, that was narcotics that did that, and the DA's office. So it's possibly they were using that as a front. Like you
Yeah.
can't just get in there; you have to be a member or something.
Right,
So
right.
I could see that, but we were able to take it down.
Thank
so
goodness,
yeah, did
yeah.
a good job. I
great.
wasn't that familiar with this place, but I guess there's probably a lot of traffic in and out of there. I know
You
where it's
guys
located.
had hit it twice before.
We have, okay.
When
so.
they first opened, like a month after they opened. I thought it was actually a health food store, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, it sounds like it, yes. But,
But then
this
it
guy
was
had some
raided.
operation. I mean, he must have been making some money. He had like
Yeah.
4 of these places going. So anyway, next. Okay. The SLA investigations, which is the State Liquor Authority. Any licensed premises, we can go in there if there's problems. We do routine inspections on a yearly basis of most licensed premises, but we particularly target ones where we have assaults and unruly crowds. So on October 17th, with the New York State Liquor Authority, our crime section, the town, they hit the Pasha Hookah Lounge. This is a place that was complained about at a prior community meeting, and we've had issues at this place in the past. So we hit that place, and they issued 3 SLA violations to the manager, the town of Huntington fire marshals, and public safety. They're conducting further investigation. They issued 5 building code violations to this place. This place is an ongoing problem, so we're going to keep an eye on it. I know it's been complained about before. And then the next one was this El Cuscateco, whatever it is, bar, which we had a complaint last meeting here about, and you saw the other incident. So we hit that one on the 18th. And what did we do there? 4 SLA violations. So there were 4 State Liquor Authority violations, which is good, because that's kind of the beginning of maybe trying to shut it down. And they issued 9 fire code violations to the owner. So that's a good start on trying to maybe put that place out of business. We'll see where it goes. The State Liquor Authority, we appreciate the help they can give us, but sometimes they're a little leery to just pull the license. If we get enough complaints, they'll take it away. So we'll see where it goes, but we're trying to do our part in that. Yes, sir.
The property owner, not just the business?
Well, yeah, that would be the town more than us. We go after whoever has the liquor license is really kind of where we can go with our jurisdiction and the State Liquor Authority. As far as, I know somebody wanted us to shut that whole place down and not have it open as a bar, but that's really not what we do. That's more of the town, so that would be a question, for the town.
So would that be code inspection?
Yes.
Actually, the Princess Bar, I don't know if you remember.
Princess, I do know
I
the
think you
Princess.
were DI when this happened.
possible.
Mark Cuthbertson from the town board. The town has to approve the renewal of the SLA license
Oh,
every
okay.
year.
Yeah.
So the Mark Cuthbertson, together with community complaints, proof of reports from SCPD of illegal actions that were repeatedly happening over a period of time, petitioned the SLA not to renew their license.
Yeah.
And they did not. It actually was effective. And not only that, that's the only way that they put a ban on any SLA license at that premises based on the address
Okay.
for several years.
Yeah.
and then it reopened and,
As a ball.
yeah.
So State Liquor Authority, the State Liquor Authority, they regulate any licensed premise and liquor stores and all that. And, you know, they have an office, I think, in Albany, and they have just a few inspectors that are kind of like for all of Nassau and Suffolk. So when we can, we work in conjunction with them. And they're helpful because, you know, they have the power to revoke that. But we have to show that, you know, it's like an unruly premise and we have many problems. We keep files on all these places, but like when we have assaults and this and that, we'll go to them and say, hey, we got to think about maybe pulling this license. And then after that, you know, we'd cooperate obviously with the town to try and shut this place down. But it takes time, but you know, this is the beginning where we start doing our thing and hopefully we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, compliance checks. So this is, we go to the vape shops. We get a lot of complaints about this too. You know, them selling cigarettes and tobacco products to underage kids. So they went in, this was on the 27th. Our PCS officers conducted underage tobacco compliance. They used an underage police agent. They send a young kid in there who's under the age and see if they'll sell to them. So in this case, the total of 10 shops were checked. 8 were in compliance, which is actually pretty good ratio. We're happy that, and they know that we're out there and we do this occasionally, so a lot of them have come into compliance, which is good. But 2 weren't on this day, and those were the 2, JoJo Convenience on Depot Road, 212 Depot, and Tobacco Corner, 117 Walt Whitman Road, Huntington Station. 2 defendants were arrested and charged with unlawfully dealing with a child. That's the charge when they sell tobacco products to underage. So another good job by our PCS. You can see doing massage parlors, doing liquor authority checks, doing these compliance checks. They're never not busy back there. Lieutenant's not here and none of the people that work there are here, but I like to give them credit and they do a heck of a job for us. The site team is the highway enforcement, highway patrol officers. I talk about it every month. They come into the precinct on occasion and help us out with traffic enforcement, and we really appreciate it because we get a lot of complaints at the meetings, obviously, and so I'll forward that to the sergeant, and they'll hit some of the locations. And in October, this is where they hit those locations: Seaman Neck, Jericho, Spring Road, Vanderbilt, Town Line, New York Avenue, Earl Court, or Earl Road is not on there. I don't know why. Anyway. October 2nd, 16th, 21st, and the 31st, they squeaked one last day in there. They wrote a total of 108 summonses, and as you can see, 98 were moving violations, so they don't mess around, and there were 10 other non-moving violations. So I appreciate the help from the highway sergeant and his team when they come into the precinct. It's really nice to have some extra enforcement. We get many, many complaints about vehicle and traffic law. Yes, sir?
How do we add another road to the list of the patrols?
She'll take. We get them all every month. I'm used to it. It's fine. We take a list and we try and I'll give it to the sergeant, and you know, as long as I could do radar, because they do a lot of radar and stuff. So it has to be a street where they can actually run radar.
We have a big issue on Sound Road in Huntington with traffic trailers.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, people ride tickets all day long.
Sounds good.
Trucks coming up and down that road that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
And there are signs posted on both sides, Oakwood and Woodbury. So we need to sign petitions about the town hall, and it's the reason why I'm here today, to make sure that we.
Sure. Yeah, we have our own enforcement officers too. We could send down there, so between the 2, we'll get somebody down there. Okay. Yeah, this is not a good month for us. Fatal accidents, as you can see, we had 3 fatal accidents, and I'm always sorry to report on these because people have lost their lives. One on the 2nd, Walt Whitman Road and Fletcher Place. This was a car versus a pedestrian. I guess the guy was trying to cross Walt Whitman Road, which is very, very busy road. I don't know exactly if it was I guess it was at the intersection there, but the driver did not see the pedestrian and struck him, and he was pronounced at the scene. And then on Saturday the 18th, this was another pedestrian accident in front of 233 Main Street in Huntington. It was a step van versus a pedestrian. And I don't know if this was at the intersection. I think this gentleman may have stepped out from between some cars. to cross, and this operator that stepped in didn't see him, and he got hit at that scene, and he was killed instantly at that scene. So that's horrible. And then on Saturday, at the intersection of Express Drive South and Bagatelle Road, you probably saw this is a news story also. Bagatelle Road in Melville, a car versus a motorcycle. The motorcycle rider was killed at the scene, and the driver of the vehicle, a young woman, was arrested for DWI. So I guess she was coming down the road, and he was maybe trying to get onto that road, and she never saw him. This was, what time was this one? Yeah, pretty early in the morning, so I'm sure it was dark out, and unfortunately, she's gonna pay the consequences for that one.
She should.
Okay, these are all the arrests we had in October. We had 31 felony arrests, 102 misdemeanor arrests, 7 assault-related arrests, gang-related arrests. 2 gang members were arrested. That's supposed to be 1 MS-13 member for DV drugs and 1 blood for unlawful fleeing. Our anti-crime/gang officers also made 15 other arrests of people that were not gang members. And then drug-related arrests, we had 19, and DWIs 20, and for a total of around 146 arrests.
This is all in the town of Huntington?
Yeah, that's for October, yeah, just the month of October. This is domestic incidents, talk about domestic incidents and overdoses. We responded to 207 domestic incidents in October. 68 were deemed criminal, and 23 resulted in arrests so far. There's probably still some investigations open. And then on overdoses, we had 3 non-fatal overdoses. So no fatal overdoses, that's actually good. But they occurred in Huntington Station and in Huntington and in East Northport. This was the one shot spotter activation we had in October. We only had 1 in October. And there was construction over by this area. This was at 5 o'clock in the morning on the 21st at 1555 New York Avenue. So the spotter activated. I said, you know, they're acoustical receptors, and sometimes they pick up what may sound like a gunshot. They do get the gunshots, but they get other stuff. So some on a construction site, guy could be using one of those power hammers, you know, which is like a gunshot.
At 5 a.m.?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well,
That's
construction.
The sewers are
Oh, yeah.
overnight.
Yeah, it could be that. A loud bang, like a dumpster hitting the ground, can sometimes set it off. So we get some false alarms. It's much better than it used to be. But we only had 1 in October, and then next month when I do the meeting, you'll see the one that was result of the shooting. Okay, we got some nice events coming up. Thanks to Jamie and Alyssa putting this stuff together. Zumba with a cop.
And they do it in full uniform, I'll have you know.
What, do they?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. All right, so I don't have to put a leotard on. That's good. Thursday, November 6th, 6 to 7 at Suffolk YJCC in Comac. You have to register, right, for the class? Yeah, you show up. Or just show up? Yeah, anybody does Zumba or likes to do Zumba? You might learn how to dance. I don't know, whatever. I'm pointing to him back there. Want to do Zumba? Yeah. No? Okay. All right. Coffee with a cop. This is an easy one. Just got to show up and have a cup of coffee with us. And we would love to candidly speak with you. So if you got the time, come down to the mall on the 18th at 11:30. And I'll be there, the DI and the captain will both be there. And you can talk to us about any concerns you have. All the officers, a lot of our officers will be there. So if you have concerns in your neighborhood, sir, you might want to come down, and coffee's free. So come on down. We'd love to have you.
Wine with a cop.
Wine with a cop. I don't think I can actually, I'm not supposed to support that one, but, okay. And then this is a big one, but this is December, right? So we give you a little advance notice for this one, but this is a really good one. So if you have, you know, young kids or grandkids, or even if you skate yourself, come down. Skating's free. And do you have to register or?
You just show up.
Yeah, and that guy with the glasses usually makes an appearance, so we'd love to have you at that. It's a really great event. A lot of kids are on the ice, having a ball. You get to see Jamie skate. She's like a professional skater, and it's fun to watch. So anyway, that's a good time. I don't know, have you guys skate or what? No? Maybe? I gotta see this.
You did, didn't you?
Did you
Oh,
play
okay.
hockey? You guys, some guys that play hockey. There's quite a few officers that play hockey, and they're pretty good skaters. So, anyway.
All right, hands up. Wait, hands up. Hockey. Are you going to be there? You're going to help so you're going to help the kids, right? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
got a lot of show-offs there. All right. Reminders: don't leave the keys in the car, please. Don't, if you're at the mall and you buy stuff, don't put it in there and go back in if you can do it, or put it in your trunk or something where people can't see it. All these things are good. If you have a video, Ring doorbell, please set it, because crimes happen at night. We get a lot of thefts out of vehicles, sometimes in neighborhoods. Every once in a while we'll get a tip from somebody's Ring video, which really helps us. So any kind of video that you may have, if you hear something in the neighborhood, please call us. We'll come down and we'll collect the video. It helps us once in a while. We appreciate that. Gift cards. Anybody calls you and says you didn't pay your bill, and they say, well, we can settle this right now if you just go buy some gift cards and give me the numbers on the gift. That's a scam. Please don't fall for it. I read reports every month of people. The latest one I read, I think they got the person, the victim, must have bought almost $20,000 in gift cards, and paid this a crazy amount that they said he owed his past electric bill or something. And I was like, how could you think that that's legitimate? But they're very convincing, these people. All of these are scams. A pop-up, you get a pop-up on your computer, and then they say, oh yeah, we can fix that, and give me the remote access to your computer. They're right into your bank account. Please don't fall for that. This is a new one here. I put the amount down because I'm just amazed at the amount of money that these poor people are taken advantage of for. This one's, the bank guy stated the account was compromised, and you have to go and take all the money out of the bank, but don't tell the employees at the bank because they're in on it. So sometimes they, the banks sometimes, and I think the banks are getting wiser, and maybe someday we should have a thing where we get together with a lot of bank representatives and talk about, like, when people start withdrawing large sums of money, maybe just ask them, and a lot of times the victims are elderly. So, if you say, hey, why are you taking out $40,000? Oh, well, they called me and said, but this guy was smart, right? He tells them, don't tell the bank employees because they could be in on it. And this poor person took out all their money, right? And then the guy came, he says, we're gonna pick it up because it is also, we gotta make sure it's not counterfeit or something. It was just a total scam. And they came and handed him the life savings. So, just be aware that people will call, or they give a pop-up, or whatever it may be. They call saying they're from your bank, like you'll be like, oh yeah, this is my bank. Well, it might not be your bank, so you hang up and call back your bank with the number, not the one on the computer, the number that you have for the bank, and say, did you just call me and say, is this a scam? Right. So, you don't want to ever go by the number they give you when they call you or they reach out to you. So, I just love to get this information out because it breaks my heart to see these people losing their life savings to these scammers. Yes?
I just heard it last night, I think it was on Facebook. Now, people that lost their pet, they counted their dog.
Yep.
Somebody said, we have your dog, we have your
Yeah.
cat, we want a gift
Oh,
card.
yeah.
And so- and it's all scam too, so it's just a shame.
There's- yes.
People take advantage of everything.
There's also other ones where they sell dogs too, and they're selling, what's the big dog now, that little English bulldog or something? That's like a hot dog now, and everybody wants that dog. And there's sites on it. People go, oh, I can get this dog on, what is it, eBay or whatever? Right, so they go.
Marketplace.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
And then you send, they call us and they said, oh, I sent $2,000 and I never got the dog. Well, that's probably not the best way to purchase a dog. But, and they're really smart, these people. They know how to scam people.
Yep.
And so just be aware that there's a lot of scams out there. Okay, next meeting, December 3rd, 7 p.m. And prior to that, we're doing the PLAB? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We are doing the final quarterly second precinct PLAB meeting.
Yes.
at, what time was, what did you say, 6? Yeah.
6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock, so from 6 to 7:30, I believe, is the PLEB meeting, and then from 7:30 to 8:30 is the precinct meeting.
So we have an advisory board, and June is one of the co-chairs, and she runs the precinct level advisory board. It's a new like project that the department came up with, and we have community members that are involved in this, and June's one of them. So they have quarterly meetings, and that'll be the last meeting for the year. I'll be going over the traffic data stats, car stops and searches. That's one of the requirements for me, so I'll be doing that, and then we'll have the meeting afterwards, the regular community meeting. So if you want to come early and listen to me talk about all the car stops that my fine officers have made, and searches, and the results of searches and whatnot, come on down early, and then stay for the community meeting.
Print that flyer with all that information too over here.
Great.
Yes. Oh, okay,
Thank
yes,
you.
thank you, thanks. So there are flyers there. All right, we're ready for questions? Anybody got questions? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jane Irving. I'm with the Greenlawn Civic Association.
Okay.
So we've had complaints on Grafton and Gates about speeding cars, mostly coming from the high school, and that would include Taylor Avenue also.
I see, okay.
The residents are really wondering if they could get some enforcement there.
Sure, absolutely,
Broadway here in Greenlawn,
yes.
there's something wrong with the traffic signal at Cuban Hill and Broadway.
Oh, okay.
It's a county road both ways. There are residents making U-turns on Broadway because the traffic is so backed up.
Okay.
You know, I
On
have
Broadway,
photographs
or Cuba Hill? Which one is it backed up on? Is it on
It
Broadway?
backs up on Broadway.
On Broadway, okay.
Yeah, the light needs to be changed or
We
something.
could, yeah, you could just, anytime you get that, just call the precinct. We could have the signal company check to make sure it's cycling properly. Because if it's not, yeah,
I
it
have
might just,
pictures of cars making U-turns in the
yeah,
middle
no,
of
it's
it.
dangerous. That's not good. But, so we'll, after we're done, she'll let the desk know. And
Okay.
we'll reach out to the signal company and have them take a look at that light and make sure.
And one more thing, about the e-bikes.
Yeah,
They're also riding on the sidewalks, and the
Yes.
businesses are really flipping out about this. You
the-
said they're working on new legislation.
I was told they're trying to
Is
come
that
up with some.
Suffolk County?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, because I think it'll take so long for the state to actually come out with something in the vehicle and traffic law. The county could probably do something quicker.
mean, I don't know where
Don't
they're
hold me to
supposed
that,
to ride,
but,
but-
yeah, they're
Not
well
on the
aware of the
sidewalks.
problem, because it's just, it's more and more frequent, and more people are getting hurt.
Right.
You know, so it's something we need to address, but again, we have to have the tools to do it, so I'm not opposed to doing it, but we have to have the backing of the law
Yeah.
for us to be able to do that. So just understand that, all right? It's not that we don't want to. I mean, the officer here, she was able to catch up with that, but there are some concerns about how to stop them if they take off. God forbid a kid gets hit and killed. It's a big problem for us, so you got to take all that into consideration. I know it's frustrating for everybody, and we're well aware of it, and
okay.
it's gone from me. They're talking about it out in Yaphank, so there's a lot going on with that. Stuff will come down the pike on it, and hopefully we'll get some better enforcement techniques that we can use. Again, but the problem is chasing them down, and we're not going to do that because we can't risk some young kid getting hurt, you know.
You said it was 16 years.
Under 16, they're not supposed to have an e-bike. They're not supposed to even operate an e-bike. That's what the law is now, yes.
Is
So-
there, I don't know whether the high school should have some kind of assembly for some of these parents and children to
Yeah.
know the
Yeah.
law, because I get.
The highway sergeant,
on
the
my
highway
side,
sergeant,
and on my lawn, they ride along my lawn.
so the highway sergeant,
Kid on Broadway, walking my dog to the library. These kids decide that they're going, my dog is 12 pounds, 8 ounces. And it's me, and I'm walking my dog, and all of a sudden there's an e-bike coming. My dog is like freaking, I'm freaking, and it's heading right into me, and then at the last second it decides that it's going to go onto Broadway.
And there is a group of them that wears dark helmets and a mask.
this is over by the high school here?
No, it's
Oh.
right on Broadway.
Oh, Broadway,
Yeah,
okay.
Right on Broadway.
All right.
Greenlawn Road and Smith Street. I may call the.
Haley?
I may call the
Please, because it's.
school district, Harborfields, or ask.
Oh, the high school?
them to
Yeah.
plan some kind of assembly or send something out that a lot of these parents, these kids look like 12 and 13 riding these e-bikes to me.
Yeah. Well, might be something we could work on through the police department where we can see if the school would let us go and have a speech there and a presentation where we can, you know. But, you know, I'll be quite honest with you, a lot of parents today just want to give their kids whatever they want. So that's something that how am I supposed to stop that? You know, like the parents got a kid who's 14 and all his friends have e-bikes. They're going to get him an e-bike because they don't want to hear it. And that's part of the problem. But, you know, if we were able to take them away, then that'll be a big help. But again, trying to catch the kid and hold them there and then, you know, take the bike. We don't have a problem doing that. But, yeah, I'm well aware of the e-bike issue, and it's being talked about, you know, on a regular basis. So the people that run the police department are well aware of this
And
issue.
there is a helmet law for the e-bikes, correct?
Yeah, anybody 16 and older, I think it's under maybe, I don't know if it's 18 or 21, they have to wear a helmet. And then after that, if you're an adult, I think it's up to you. But the speed of these things, I don't know why you wouldn't want to wear a helmet. But, you know, so anyway. Sir?
Regarding the speeding on Grafton and Gates, that's particularly at 7:30 and 2:30.
Right as school lets out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's lots of kids walking on Grafton and Gates, and these guys are going really fast down the street. Somebody's going to get hit.
All right, we got it. We'll send somebody over, no problem. Yes,
Last question.
maybe.
I saw that there was, I promise, a lot of domestic violence calls.
Yes.
Do you and your officers have special training for these calls? Do you have specific officers that go in?
Every officer's trained in the academy on how to handle domestic. They do role play scenarios. They do that, and you know, listen, on a regular basis, they're responding to these. So they learn when they go out with their training officers when they're brand new. That, you know, it's a frequent call that we do. So we're well trained. They have a domestic violence bureau also. They follow up on a lot of these calls to try and help whoever needs help in the household for what they can do. So it's a big issue, but we have a lot of resources that, you know, besides our officers that respond on a daily basis. There's that other unit reaches out to people. There's all kinds of nonprofits that are willing to help out. So, I mean, we've had them here doing, you know, presentations at the meetings, talking to us that there are things that they can, you know, if they need shelter or something, that they provide this. So when we hand out a lot of stuff at these calls, we have handouts so that people can go through and look at all the resources there are available out there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Violence, you said, I forget the number, but they were deemed criminal. So why weren't they arrested?
No, I said that. So there was some arrests, but like, first of all, there's a whole investigation that has to happen. So I'm just looking at my statistics from the month, but those investigations sometimes take a couple of weeks. So, you know, like I said, there was a certain amount of arrests. That doesn't mean any of those other criminal ones won't result in an arrest down the road. It's just that those investigations haven't been, you know, finalized or completed yet. There could be more, but I'm just giving you the stats for what I have right now at the end of the month. So.
And on the strangulation thing, why
Yeah.
isn't that attempted murder?
Yeah, that's you know, that's really the district attorney and the detectives. If it was that bad, where they thought, I mean, when you just have to lose consciousness, and then they're going to go with strangulation. It's a pretty serious charge. It's a little more than that to get it to attempted murder. So, I mean, it's serious. That's the only reason I put it on the PowerPoint, because you know these things happen out there and more frequent than you would think. But yeah, the whole investigation that goes through that, the strangulation, could it go to the next level? Yeah, but it'd probably have to, you know, be maybe she had to go to the hospital. I mean, she regained consciousness right away. She did lose consciousness, but she gained it. So attempted murder is kind of a stretch, you know. So.
It's mating season for deer. My area also has a lot of deer to begin with. But I heard that they spotted deer in Huntington Village itself too. They're running all over the place.
Yeah.
Especially in the West Hills area, like Sweet Hollow Road. people fly down that road, God forbid a deer jumps out in front of you, swerve, you're into a tree. So just, especially like that dusk time in the early morning and dawn, they're running around. If there's one, there's two, there's three, there's one. They'll
Yeah,
do damage.
obviously, there's many more deer than there used to be years ago. We never had this problem. But anywhere where you see a big park and wooded areas, probably gonna be deer. And this is the time right now that the male deer are chasing the females around, so they're all over the place, and they run right out. So, yeah, it's a good point to make that if you're driving in those areas where there could be a park, or West Hills especially, because you got the big park there, but, you know, anywhere in Dix Hills, and they're all over. So just be aware that they're very active right now because it's the time of the season, and they do pose a hazard.
Some
But-
bears,
yeah.
some bears.
Right. Bears?
Yeah, that'd be great.
No bears. If you hear that call, it's not true. There's no bears. Go ahead.
Is December your last meeting?
Yes, you really
Or
want me
will
to
it be
announce that?
January?
No, December, just so everybody knows, I'm retiring. And December will be my last meeting. So if you want to see the last meeting with me as the guest host, then come on down.
Why go in on Wednesday?
There was a conflict with there was a conflict with the library. We're gracious to the library for letting us do the meetings here now instead of the precinct, which everybody seems to like. And then South Huntington is the other one. They've been nice enough to give us the space. So I think it's better that we're out in the community talking to everybody. I like it this way. January, Steve will be running it, and that's it. I don't know. He could be in the running. You know what? I'm kind of lower than the level. They make those decisions up in headquarters, so I'm not sure. I know there's people that would like this job because they like this precinct. This is the best precinct in the whole county. We know that, right?
Second to none, baby.
So we'll see, but I'm sure whoever replaces me will be better than I am. And anyway, thank you.
Aww.
Thank you. So that's it. You're gonna make me reveal my age now. I have a total of 42 years experience. On it.
Wow.
Thanks. Yeah, I was on New York City before this for like 4 years, so collectively it's long enough, and it's been a blessing. This job's been great, and I'm truly blessed. So, thank you, thank you, I appreciate it.
You get my big cry.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.